year. Well, this is crazy. We are almost to 2022. So we are so excited to see everybody. We have some incredible guests. We have some very fun announcements to go over today. So just some housekeeping, some upcoming events and office updates. We have headshots going on at the Southwest Market Center on December 9th for $75. This is one of our preferred vendors. So if you want to get signed up for that, Allison, do we have a link for them to sign up?
Yes, and I can put it in the chat box once I stop sharing my screen.
Awesome. So new headshot for the new year, and that's happening this week on the 9th. We also have our very last citywide sales meeting next Tuesday at 11 o'clock on the 14th. We have Miss Andrea Ryan leading that call, and also Keller Mortgage too. So that's going to be a really great call and ready to end the year off right. December 15th, we have a pie pickup. Deadline to reserve your pie is 12/8, which is tomorrow. So make sure you get your pie reserved. We look forward to seeing everyone and celebrating the holidays. All right, and today's speakers, we have Patton Sides from Cutco. We have a command update, a very exciting command update with Andrea Ryan. We have Miss Jennifer Lewis in our market stats, and then we have the Clay Byrne doing a presentation on how to build a big database, a big business off a small database. That was tricky. All right, and then we wanted to welcome home 26 agents to Keller Williams in the month of November. So if you see these guys around the hallways, if you see them online, make sure you just say hello, introduce yourself. We're really excited to have you here with us. All right, Mr. Patton, you want to take it away?
Here. Yes, ma'am, I will. Good morning, everybody. Thanks so much for having me. I hope I can see y'all in person at some point in the not too distant future. So yeah, for those of y'all that don't, I'll see a lot of familiar faces here. For those of y'all that don't know me, I'm Patton Sides with Cutco Cutlery and Cutco Closing Gifts. And just give me a wave if you have Cutco knives at home, or if you're familiar with our Cutco knives. There's another hand going up. Fantastic. Good. So what I'm here to talk to you today, what I do is I help realtors create more leads, create more referral business, increase your client retention, customer satisfaction, and get you more business, which is kind of the idea. And so the way we do that with Cutco and with Closing Gifts is we know that at the end of every transaction, that's the beginning of a lifetime relationship with a client. And it's important because according to the National Association of Realtors, 82% of folks, 82% say they love the realtor. They love to work with them again. But in that same survey, only 12% can even remember their realtor's name. Okay, can just remember your name. And so a big opportunity that people miss out on branding themselves and creating that top of mind awareness is with your closing gifts. Now, I'm not saying people don't like any gift you give them. Wine, champagne, gift baskets, and old cutting boards are very popular in formats, doormats. Those are great gifts. When you think about it, the vast majority of gifts like that, they get used up, they get consumed, or the ones that do have a good shelf life, they may look nice, but they really just sit and collect dust for years. And so they don't do anything to really serve your client's needs for long term, and they don't serve your business much 2 months, 2 weeks, 2 years after the transaction. So to solve all those problems, what we do with Cutco is we take your name, your logo, and your information and engrave it permanently right there on the Cutco knives. When I say permanently, Cutco knives are guaranteed forever and ever. Amen. Randy Travis. So every single time your clients use these Cutco knives, your information is right there at their fingertips to create that top of mind awareness. And think about it, holidays, birthdays, Christmas parties, whatever. Imagine you being right there in the conversation at the kitchen where everybody's hanging out and cooking and getting together and having a good time. Now, for those of y'all that aren't familiar with Cutco yet, Cutco is 100% American made. Okay, these gifts aren't sitting on a boat in the Pacific Ocean waiting to get to you. They come straight from the factory. They're guaranteed forever. If you're familiar, we're like the Rolex watch of kitchen cutlery, the Rolls Royce, the Louis Vuitton of kitchen cutlery is what our products are. Now, a lot of people ask me, hey, are these gifts right for everybody? Well, here's the deal. The kitchen's the most commonly used room in the home. That's where people, I said, are hanging out. And guess what? Every single house you're buying or selling does have a kitchen. I promise you that. And then every single one of your clients does eat food. I don't care if it's a bachelor cooking out of a microwave or some of the cooks gourmet. Every single one of your clients has to use a knife every day, every week. So when you put the quality of Cutco in their home, that'll be their favorite tool in the kitchen. I can promise you that, as folks with Cutco can attest to. Last thing you want to say, if I were a realtor, what I would love is we want this to save tell you time, stress, and money. What we do is we send you a supply of gifts to have on hand so that they're ready to go and hand out. Most realtors, like right now, most realtors are getting a year supply of gifts to last them through 2022. You get a 6-month supply, a month supply, but then they're grab and go. They're ready to hand out. No more shot going to Home Depot or Specs Liquor on the way to the title company to buy a gift. They're ready to go with bows, ready to hand out. And we can take the cost of the gifts and spread it out over 6 months or 12 months interest free to match with your cash flow. We understand it fluctuates, but imagine taking all the thinking and work out of your closing gifts, have them done for all your clients, spread the cost out so it matches your budget, and they're 100% tax deductible because they're a marketing and advertising expense for your business. So that's what we do with Cutco with our closing gifts. We use strategic gifting to generate more referrals, more repeat business, and overall better client retention and satisfaction. So here's what I'm going to do. If you would like, I got some Christmas gifts for everybody. Get out your phones or your testing apps. Don't be shy. You can wave them here. I'm going to send you, we're going to do a drawing for a free piece of Cutco. Here's how this works. Get out your phone, texting app, whatever, wave it in the air. If you just want to be in the drawing, no purchase necessary or anything. There's my cell phone number. Look at that, 832-725-0095. Just text me your name. That's all I need. Text me your name. Actually, text me your name and I'll get your email when I do the drawing. Now, if you were interested in Cutco, if you want to take advantage of the Christmas specials that I have, all right, the discounts start at 10 gifts here at Christmas. Text me your name, your email, so I can send you info and I'm in. Okay, text I'm in, your name and email. I'll get a hold of you. I have some deals going on here before the end of the year, okay, that you can take advantage of. I'll schedule a quick phone call. We'll do a quick follow-up call, 7-8 minutes, go over the gift options. I'll even buy you some Cutco for Christmas, okay? Christmas. So that's everything for me. I'm going to put that in the chat, Allison, so y'all can move on and let y'all get going. But everyone can be in the drawing, no purchase or interest necessary.
Thank you so much, Patton. We love being in partnership with you.
Well, thanks. Yes.
All right, guys, while Patton's putting that in the chat, we want to talk about our citywide meeting next week at 11 o'clock. So make sure you add this to your calendars. We're going to be going over tech resolutions that we're going to simplify, revive, and regenerate you and your business. So this is going to be a really great call. You do not want to miss it. We have Keller Offers joining us. We have a lot of tech tools that you can utilize on how to build your business. I mean, truly, we are very tech savvy here at KW. So definitely learn your tools. And we will have Andrea Ryan teach us everything we need to know. And then another exciting announcement for our Southwest Market Center leadership team. We have welcomed Adam Johnson as our new Director of Technology. So if you guys see him around the office, please say, hey, he's amazing. He's got a wonderful background full of technology. He was in the healthcare field. So definitely say hello. He's an amazing addition to our team. And our annual pie drive, Allison, you want to chat about this?
Yeah, so I did put in the chat box how to reserve your pie. This is our second annual pie drive-through. For those of you that don't know, essentially you'll just reserve a pie and then on December 15th, show up anytime between 10 a.m. and 2 p.m. Drive by to pick up your pie. We will all be decked out and elves. I think we may have a Santa Claus there. So it'll be really exciting. And then we'll also have a little coffee stand with hot cocoa and things like that. So be sure to reserve your pie by tomorrow so that you can join us on December 15th. I also wanted to take a little deeper dive for those of you guys that have heard about Keller Williams has now rolled out a free real estate school. We have partnered with Kaplan Real Estate Education, and this is a great way to bring people to KW, a great way, anyone that you know that is interested to get their license, please utilize this tool for you guys. We've invested in it to help you build your downline, to help agents get into the business. And so we have streamlined some processes to just make this a lot easier and ensure that no one falls through the cracks. Andrea Ryan, she's been really great in setting all of these tools up. She has actually created even a smart plan for you guys as the referring agent to keep up with this recruit. So it's really important that not only we are keeping up with your recruit, making sure they're enrolled in the courses, and once they get closer to the end, we'll meet with them one-on-one, not only for us to keep up with them, but a smart plan for you guys to keep up with that recruit as well. So we will be sending out more information on where to find that. And also, we have created a landing page, and I'll put it in the chat box once I'm not sharing my screen anymore. But kscoreaustonsouthwest.com. Your recruit essentially will go to that webpage. We'll have a bunch of frequently asked questions. And then from there, they'll set up a call with us. We'll reach out. We'll give them the discount code. And then from there, they're able to take their real estate courses and also enroll in KW Prep, which will essentially, long story short, get them Kellerized, let them know about Keller Williams and help them truly in their real estate business. So that way, when they are licensed, they can just hit the ground running. I know there's probably a lot of questions revolving around K-Score. Does anyone have any questions right now that I can answer while I'm on the screen? And I can't see anyone on my end if anyone's raising a hand.
I think it's awesome because you just send them your the people that you want to get enrolled in it, and it just happens.
Yes. And they do have, I do want to note that when someone enrolls in K-Score, they do have 6 months from when they enroll to, of course, complete all of the licensing. And then we also like to remind people that whenever you are connecting us with someone, it would be great if they kind of already know a little bit about the real estate process and to have a little bit of background knowledge that there are other costs associated with being a realtor. It's not just the free real estate school. So we'll have a lot of different tools rolling out with this. And if you have any questions, please don't hesitate to reach out. We've actually created an email address just for K-Score questions. You can reach out to kscoreinfo@kwaustin.com. Kind of a lengthy email address, but I'll put it in the chat box too. So you guys can reach out if you have any questions.
Well, this is a great opportunity to build your profit share. We are here to help facilitate that. So if you have anyone that is interested in getting into real estate, please send them our way. We are happy to help have those conversations.
Yay.
All right, next up, Miss Andrea Ryan, you want to give us a really exciting command update? Something happened this week that was very exciting. You want to share?
I do. And I'm going to have a surprise. I'm gonna have a special guest pop on with me too. Okay. So hang tight. But the big update is Command Mobile. Okay. Now, those of you who have been familiar with Command for a while, this is kind of one of the things we've been waiting for, right? Is having the power of Command in our hand, which is going to actually solve and help streamline so many things. Now, look, this app is in its infancy. It's a baby app, and it's still really powerful right now. And I want to point out just a few things that it's really going to help streamline for you. First and foremost, if you're like me and you run Facebook ads, okay, or have any form of online leads that come through your Command, instead of them going through Kelly, you're going to get an alert on your phone, okay, that a lead has just come in. That's huge if you do online leads or Facebook ads, right? Because speed to lead is really important. Before, you would just get an email, and let's face it, how many of us are just sitting at our laptop 24/7? No, we're not. We're on the road. We're doing appointments and all this kind of thing. So having that Command Mobile app is going to allow those messages to pop up. Also, your task, birthday reminders, it is going to be such an easier way for you to stay up to date in the morning as you start your day and throughout your day. Okay. But I want to reveal reveal my special guest. Andy Fisher, are you there? Are you there?
I am here.
Okay. So he was actually labbing the app before it came out, and he's an active agent like you, like me, in the market center. So Andy, do me a favor and share some of the things that you have used this app for right now in your business that you have found incredibly helpful.
So yes, the app is finally out. And I can say that I have been using it for a little bit now. We've been testing it as an agent for agents. So that's what, we were doing. The app is absolutely amazing. It allows me to, for one, speed to lead, because we know that if we're running ads, like you said, on Facebook and, any other media platforms that are coming in, and we're getting those notifications, well, we can immediately pick up the phone. And I mean, it's literally tap, 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 and I'm on the phone with the potential, making the phone call, finding out like what they need. The cool thing is that when I hang up the phone, I can immediately put those notes into command on the timeline. I love that because, guys, I suck at this whole typing notes out. So I just speak into my phone and just tell it all of the notes that I just had with that conversation, which is super, super awesome. The other thing that I love to do is when I'm out showing property and I'm in the car, in between the drives, I'm knocking off tasks. I'm knocking off those calls, so I just tap on the little task button and say, make a phone call. I'll make the phone call right then and there. And I'm knocking that stuff out while I'm on the drive. So the app is definitely a game changer. You guys, please realize that this is version 1. We've had long discussions about, integrating Twilio, and there was a lot of debate about releasing, not releasing because of Twilio and doing that stuff. But, it's a very great tool, and it works, and it's awesome, and it helps your business to grow exponentially. Like, it's working for us. So
Awesome.
And if you're not, if you're on a team, it's great because all of your team can get the notifications, and it's going to be who's fastest to get that lead. So,
ooh, that sounds like a fun contest. Thank you,
I
Andy,
think
for
so.
sharing. I
Yeah.
really appreciate that. So here, you brought up a really good point about Twilio, because some of you have a love or hate relationship with Twilio. What's really cool about the app right now is when you're calling them, it's actually coming from the number that's in your phone. So that's actually going to excite a lot of you, because I know some of you don't want to use Twilio. That's cool. Use it, don't use it. But right now in the app, it's going to come straight from your phone number. So
Right.
if you want to do database touches, right? Like say you, and I have a feeling someone's going to talk about that, your database. So that's going to be a great topic, Clay. You can call them directly from your phone. It's going to have your phone number. It's not going to have a different number. And then, like Andy said, once Twilio gets incorporated, if you want to activate your Twilio number and call from that one, you're going to do it too. Before we go, because Andy and I could talk about this all day long, another thing I want to point out is it's going to have, like I said, birthdays, anniversary, and then your profit share.
Yep.
Now, we want that number to grow for you guys. We want you guys to be able to see that and get excited and have it grow. So we'll have some big announcements about that too. And kind of coming over from K-Score, we're going to have an agent toolkit for y'all that's going to have social media, graphics, as well as smart plans for you to use to stay in touch with your recruits. So I'm going to put the links for the KW mobile app. It is out for Android. It is out for iPhone. So you guys can download that. And if you have any questions, don't hesitate to reach out. We want to help streamline this technology for you. It's very important that our technology helps you work smarter and faster and not just consume more of your time. So never hesitate to reach out if you guys have any questions. Andy, thank you so much. Appreciate you joining us.
Absolutely. And if anybody needs any help with command, please feel free to reach out to Jody and I.
Yeah, y'all are awesome. Appreciate it.
Thank you both for such hard work on getting this together. And it's an exciting announcement, y'all. Exciting. All right, what do we have next, Alex?
Oh, we have this video to play.
All right,
Can you guys hear it?
we can. I'll go download it. All right, Miss Jen, are you ready to run through these market stats like a pro? Oh, you're on mute.
I am, once I get myself off mute. Awesome. So wanted to quickly run through some really important stats, y'all. We have been watching these numbers come down, 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 and units sold over the last few months. We went from 10, 20% up. So now in Travis County, we're about 11.5% down in units sold. Still up in average sales price. This is also slowing down. We were seeing pretty significant 30s, even up into the low 40s. Now we're at 23%. And y'all need to remember, right? Last year at this time was sort of the beginning of the surge. So this is expected. We weren't going to be climbing at that rate forever. So you'll see this play out in all the counties as we keep going through. We were pretty neutral in our average list to sales price because, again, this is about that time last year when inventory was tight and the buyers were starting to come into the market. So we don't see a lot of change in average list to sales price. However, that average days on market went way down. Also thinking back to November last year, there were a lot of properties that had been sitting on the market. They were suddenly being eaten up. So their average sales price or average days on market was longer. We're now looking at about 20 days, which if y'all remember back in June, we were down to about 10 days. So this has significantly gone up. And I expect it to continue on that trail. Slowly but surely, we're heading back towards those normalization of our average days on market. Market stats for luxury, a little different here. We, of course, with the increase in prices, we're seeing our luxury sales units go up. So though our overall sales units went down, we're still up almost 40% in units sold over 1 million. In Travis County, in certain neighborhoods, $1 million isn't even luxury anymore. So that's pretty normal per what we've been seeing. Again, though, this is slowing down just a tick from where we were. Average sold price, I kind of ignore this number because I think we have a lot more properties between 1 and 1.75 million than we ever have before. So saying this is down is only because we don't have as many outlier properties and a lot more in that sort of hub of 1 to 1.75. Average listed sales price still really up for luxury, y'all. To be over 100% for luxury price point is a big, big deal. We are way down in the average days on market still at only 30 days. Only 30 days, y'all. Typically we're like at 90. So down 80% from the norm. Last year was still only 54, which was low for luxury. 53 sales over 2 million. That is up from last year. If y'all saw these last month, luxury sales over 2 million were actually down from the previous year. So we had a little bit of a dip in the market. We've recovered a little. And then of course our over 3 million, that's just way, way up in the sky, 82% more than we saw last year. If we move on to Williamson County, similar story to Travis, units are down about 10%, average sold price up 40%. So we saw 23% in Travis County, 40% in Williamson County. Y'all, the Williamson County prices had a lot more room to grow. You are looking at almost $500,000 sales price in areas like Hutto and Leander and areas where we just did not see those kind of prices before. Average listed sale price still up a little bit. I hesitated to put neutral on here because it was over 1% difference, but we're getting back to about where we were last year. Still down, average days on market. Inventory is really tight in Williamson County, only 16 days, average days on market. And the luxury properties, man, y'all, I'm seeing listings over 1 million in Cedar Park and Leander like we never saw before. So 28 homes sold over 1 million is up 833% from last year. Hayes County, I think we're seeing a pretty significant downside in sales. I think some of this may have to do with new construction and the fact that builders aren't playing as nicely with us anymore as they were before. So I don't have the stats on how many units are sold off market with our builders, but I don't think it's as significant as the 24% is really showing here. And yet that is our MLS stat, and that is down a lot. So we're watching that number. We are still up 17.5% on average sold price. Hayes County saw a really big surge, and that is coming back down. Still up over 100% in list to sales. And we're still only hovering right around that 21 days and average days on market. I forgot the stat here, but luxury is only 20% up from last year. Hayes County kind of followed a little more closely along with Travis County because Dripping Springs and Buda saw some significant increases in their luxury market and in their price points. And they're really close into South Austin, closer to South Austin than I would say Cedar Park is to Central Austin, right? So we're just watching those stats continue to change. We'll be watching the new home build market, which we know in Hayes County is huge. Bastrop County only down 6%. It's a smaller market, so not surprising. We are up 45% in average sales price. So Bastrop is still seeing a surge. Things like the potential incoming of that film industry site, as well as Tesla being east, has really surged some of the sales in Bastrop County. We are just under 100% list of sales. So first time I've seen that on any of these stats in about a year. And our average days on market in Bastrop used to be really high, y'all. It's still down 26 days. And still not a lot of luxury over $1 million, but we are seeing more homes sold over 700,000, which in Bastrop is their luxury price point. That was a lot. That is it for today. We have an awesome speaker. I'm so excited to hear from Clay.
Oh my goodness, y'all, what we've all been waiting for today. So this man doesn't need any introduction, but we do have some guests on the call. So for those of you who don't know Clay Byrne is a father, he's a husband, he's an incredible leader in our real estate industry. He has over 24 years of experience. He and the Byrne Real Estate Group have helped thousands of families with their real estate needs. Not only do they sell a lot of houses, they also give back to the community in a very large way through the Byrne Joy Drive and their mission to give back. Clay believes in a culture of learning, action, integrity, and community, and he's always the best dressed. We're so excited to have him here with us today as he'll be teaching us how to build a big business on a small database. So Clay, are you ready to kick this off? We are so happy to have you.
I am ready to roll.
Yes, awesome.
Hey guys, y'all did a great job. I haven't been to one, full disclosure, I haven't been to a sales meeting in a while, and that was super informative. So thank you. Thank you for taking the time to do that. I know it's not easy trying to do everything that you can for agents. So you guys are doing a wonderful job. Thank you. I want to get into a small data. Can you guys hear me okay?
We sure can.
All right, perfect. All right, let's talk about a small database, big business. I shortened it a little bit. This is more, it's a strategy to teach you how to be intentional with your time, to be intentional about the people that you talk to stay in control of your profit. And really it's about living a fulfilling life. Little did you know that one little simple business strategy was going to be so impactful on yourself, but it is. Basically it's like, it's just how to make money and then to be in relationships with people that you already know. It doesn't matter where you are in your life for this strategy or in your career. As soon as you start implementing it, if you're not, it will change. Like it'll change your world. Like your life will never be the same again. All right. This is the foundation of any successful salesperson, like across the galaxy. It's all about the relationships that you have. Okay. Does that get you fired up? It gets me fired up.
We're fired up.
All right, a little quick intro, even though you just read my LinkedIn bio, good job. I started this in 97. I'm on version like 217 of myself. That was supposed to be, it was funny last night when I put that in there. The thing about working with your database and like the people that you know in your life, it will start small and it will grow because you'll be really intentional about it. Or it will be smallish. It won't be as small as you think it will be, and I'll get into that. But just so you know, like I have flourished in these 24, 5 or 6 years. And I've also like, my database has saved me in the bad years when I was mentally like busted. All right. So like your database, your people, they were like, that is your foundation of your business. Still to this day, over 60% of my business comes from repeat and referral. Up until about 4 years ago, when we decided to make a big push into the market, we were just like having a really great business out of about 300 people. Okay. So you do not, and this is what I'm talking about, and I'll show you in a second, like just with 100 people, you can have a really great real estate life. Okay. Every time I deviate from this strategy, it costs me valuable time and money, including last year. So I'm getting back into my relationships because I miss my people. I feel like I got disconnected from them. All right. Even though this last year has been extraordinary. All right. Now, when I was doing this, I came up with 2 principles, and I want to talk about these principles because they're going to kind of guide us through the rest of this conversation. Hopefully we'll have time to get through everything. I think that we will. Just so you know, at the end of this, I'm going to give you like the 3 main things that you need to do. And right now we're going to talk about why and the features and benefits of why you want to operate your business based on just the people that you know. Sound good?
Absolutely.
Am I the only one that can hear myself? Because I'm about to turn up my
Sounds
music.
great, Clay.
We're here.
Yeah. Okay. Basic principle number 1. This is humanity. Your friends, your family, your friends' friends, your family's friends, your vendors, the people you see every day. I know you can read. I like saying it anyways. The people on your daily routine, the people you give money to, the people you smile at, everybody. They all, even your competition, they want you to be successful. Okay? People want other people to be successful. Call it the underdog, call it whatever. The best thing to know about what this does for you is that there's a thing, it's called forgiveness. And the reason that's so important is because you're going to go out there and you're going to call someone, you're going to pick up the phone, you're going to call and tell somebody, hey, I just got into real estate business, and then you're going to throw up on them. All right. Not literally, but you're going to like make a mess of what you're trying to say and the message you're going to get out there until you get it more practice. And because of forgiveness, because humans want you to be successful, they're gonna be like, dude, this person's coming from a great place. I hear you. Try it again, or just call me in a month. But I love it that you're coming from a good place. All right. And that's what this is all about. Another reason that they want you to be successful is because they want to be part of your story. You're already going to be an amazing person. You already are an amazing person. You're a beautiful person inside. When you start getting into your relationships with your people and start adding value and helping them feel their significance, like your life's going to change for the better. I promise it will, because it does. It did and does for me every time. Any questions there? All right.
I do. I'm going to interrupt you, but I do love one thing that you've done. I mean, you live that principle, because I know I'm even in your database, right?
Yeah.
So, you know, I remember the McDonald's lady was in my, you know, I got Diet Cokes, everybody, but every day that person was in my database, and I sold her a house. So anyway, good advice.
Love that.
Good
Yeah.
advice.
Yeah, you could ever, I mean, my mechanic has bought like 4 properties from me. I mean, like everybody that you touch, everybody that you're around, if you're coming from that place of service and adding value to their life, everywhere you go, it's going to raise up your game. I'll get into that a little bit more. But this basic principle, y'all, I'm telling you, like everybody wants other people to be successful. Trust me on that. I don't know if it's a rule of like law, but it's pretty legit. Here's basic number 2. You got to be consistent. That's it. Consistency. I mean, we could like wrap it up right now. It's consistency and know that everybody wants you to be successful. Okay. So just so you know, the consistency, I'm not really sure what else there is to say about consistency other than it's doing the same thing every single day for the same amount of time. You can probably drill it down a little bit more, because this thing I'm going to show you, this strategy, it really only takes like 2 or 3 hours of your day, every single day. Right? So you're consistent in how you wake up, you're consistent in brushing your teeth and eating and all that. You might as well be consistent talking to 5 or 6 or 10 people a day, because you're already doing it. You're already in that momentum already. Okay. So here's a fun thing. This is the why the small database. When you start this and you commit to doing this process, and we're going to go through this a little bit later. All right. You're going to put together a list of the 100 people that you know. And I promise you all know 100. All right, we'll talk about that in a little bit. Now, in this strategy, when it's operated at a high level with your A pluses and your A's and your B's, we'll talk about that, but it doesn't matter right now. When you're doing that, you're supposed to, the law of this strategy is that you get 10% of your database will give you a referral, all right, over a 12-month period. So that means your database grows to 111, 110 people your first year, y'all, your first year. All right. And then the law of that is that 10% of your new database you'll actually be able to serve them for that year. All right. Some people call them closings or transactions. To us, they're clients served. Okay. And based on Austin's average commission check of $13,500, or that's what it is for us, in your first year, in an industry where 80% of all agents don't make any money for 24 months in a row before they decide to hang it up and go somewhere else. In your first year, you can make 150 grand if you're just consistent and you ask for business. And we're going to talk about that. Okay. So this is just a linear growth. This is about year 2. If the same 10% gave you referrals and the same 10% like you were able to serve them, you did that for 5 years. And at the end of 5 years, you'd make about 200 grand, a little over 200 grand a year. Does all that sound good?
Mhm.
Yeah. That's if you do nothing else. Okay. Like, here's some benefits of this, and this one's going to be fun. So obviously your marketing costs are minimal unless you decide to ask add Cutco to your plan on how to stay in touch with your clients. Cutcos are great, by the way. We have a few. Some of the other benefits, so your marketing costs are nominal. All right. You don't have to do a bunch of advertising. Anybody know an agent that has like some personalized van that sits in the parking lot and never moves? Or does crazy commercials with people in New York City, right? Like the Shark Tank person, like that's ego tax. We're spending a lot of money on things we're not, like, they're kind of working, they're kind of not working. We're testing things out. You don't have to do that. You can make just as much money or more if you just do a couple of simple things. Okay, you get to get into deeper relationships with your people. That's the best part. You get to have actual relationships with people. You give yourself a sense of accomplishment, pride, confidence, leadership even, because when you start to get your momentum going, you're going to be carrying yourself around differently. All right. You're going to be more confident because you got your presentations. You know how to have conversations with people. You're going to start setting goals to go meet people that you haven't met yet that are going to impact your life. And it's going to raise you. You'll have better energy. People will want to be around you. Your family is going to be more proud of you. You're going to be more proud of yourself when you walk in the door. Guys, it's such a simple thing to do, just to consistently do the same thing over and over and over, that will change your life like exponentially. You're going to discover all kinds of opportunities and possibilities. And by that, I mean, you're going to say like, hey, that influencer in the community, that connector in the community, I want to go get to know that person. And the next thing you know, they're going to introduce you to their friends, and they're going to have business deals. They're going to have ideas. They're going to tell you to or not to personalize a Mercedes Sprinter van and stick it in the parking lot, right? They're going to do lots of fun things, and you get to be a part of that. And you're going to meet some fascinating people. How many of you guys are new to Austin? Some of you? I don't even know. Can't even tell. You know, I grew up in Austin, and it's changed like, I can't even tell you how much it's changed. You're tired of hearing about it, but it used to like really grate my nerves because rush hour traffic when I started driving was like 5-minute delay. Now it's an hour and a half. You used to be able to drink a gin and tonic when you were cruising through the trail lights, and like it was no big deal, right? Now everything's like takes time. It's all these lines and everything like that. And it used to drive me nuts. But then I started to realize like I'm starting to meet some really fascinating people. Like we got some cool people moving to Austin right now, really intelligent people that are making a lot of things happen. They're also, keep in mind, remember principle number 1, they want to see you be successful too, right? When you start asking them about their business and about their goals and their dreams and the whole Ford thing, right? You get to know them and you get to like dive into their database a little bit and their connections. Like it will change your world. And like Austin is like, it's like the perfect storm for us to live these extraordinary lives just by doing these ordinary, every single day, daily activities. You guys fired up? I'm getting fired up thinking about this. Yeah. All right. I'm going to come back to that one because I think we're on a little bit of limited time here. And we just talked about it. Okay. So, and we could go back to honoring your journey. The thing is, it makes me a little bit vulnerable, and I might tear up a little bit. Warren Buffett said that compound interest is the 8th wonder of the world. I'm going to dive into a little bit more about the reason why you want to consistently ask people in your sphere, in your database about business, okay? Because the next site I show you is going to blow your mind. And it's strictly been business. If you started with $100 when you were like 15 years old, and you put it into an account and it gave you a 10% interest rate of return on it, all right? Just like the strategy, the law of when you work your database, you get a 10% return on it, okay? Every month, you took $100 and you stuck it in that same account. You did that same thing for 30 years. Like $100 is no big deal, right? Maybe when you're 15, but not right now. You can find $100 to consistently make the deposit in your account. At the end of 30 years, it turns into 228 grand, and you only put 36,000 bucks into it, all right? Who here could use 228 grand? I've never known anybody to say no to that, okay? Now, let's just say you added a little bit to it. You call one more person every day, or you decided to do an open house once a week or something like that. So instead of $100 a month, you put in $500 a month, right? Still not a big deal. Still totally doable, right? That turns into $1.13 million. All right. Just from doing a little bit extra, not even a lot, just a little bit of extra. So let's see what that looks like for you guys. You got the same 100 people, right? We just went over this. You got the same 100 people. You're still doing, like, you're still working with your A pluses, your A's and your B's. You're still consistently calling them every single month, asking them for business, checking on their lives, writing little handwritten notes. I'll get to these things in a minute. Okay. And then let's say that you decide to add 80 people to your database every single year. Do you guys want to know what that takes to do that? It takes doing 2 open houses where your goal is just to meet one person, which is the goal in our team. You just want to do one person in an open house. I don't care about the rest of them. Get one person. Do that twice, 40 weeks a year, not even 52, 40 weeks. You can take a whole quarter off. I don't care. Right? You can add 80 people to your database and you work them like you work your database. You're 100, you're 200, you're 300 people. You guys read the bottom right corner of that. After 5 years, that's $876,000 of GCI.
Wow.
This is no joke, y'all. I've seen this happen over and over. Brian Buffini teaches his whole life is built around this stuff. That's how I learned this stuff. All you got to do is get really intentional about the people that you talk to and add value to their life. And it's not complicated.
Gosh, Clay, that makes it so simple, right?
It is
It's
simple.
just, all you can do is manage your activities every single day, right?
Yeah.
And, you know, we've had a rookie of the year who didn't know a soul in Houston, who did this 2 days a week and ended up closing 48 homes her first year.
Yeah.
So there you go.
And it's just the law of intentionality. Like, what you focus on expands. When you get, like, you're done making your bed and you make breakfast, you worked out, you've done all that stuff, just go right into, here's the list of the 5. And by the way, 100 people in your database, just so you know, to do this effectively, you're just talking to 5 people a day. Every month, 5 freaking people a day. That's it. It takes less than an hour. I don't know why people don't do it.
They're scared.
Yeah. And here's the thing about being scared, y'all. Those people are going to buy and sell houses anyways. So instead of getting you, they're getting somebody out there who doesn't care about them as much as you do. They're getting somebody out there who's turned it into a transactional business that just thinks they're lucky to have been in the right place at the right time. You've gone to real estate school. You're standing up for yourself. You're saying, I am sick and tired of whatever it is that I'm sick and tired of. I'm going to go to real estate and I'm going to get into an industry where I can make its unlimited income potential, right? I'm going to go out there and I'm going to get after it. And I'm going to prove to everybody that I can do this. And the people that support you the most, the people that love you the most, the people that want you to be the most successful are the people that you already know. You have got to talk to them or they're going to end up with me as their agent.
Which
right?
wouldn't be horrible, but
no, but it wouldn't be as good as if you were to go out there and serve them, right? Because you got to get to the point where you jump on a grenade for people. Those are the kind of people those are the kind of agents people need right now. I mean, we're at a place in, like, the history of time where, like, everything just kind of sucks if you're online all the time, right? It's negative news. You're quarantined. You can't see anybody. Like, I can't wait to see you people in person. Like, we're at a time, don't you feel like that this is, like, the world needs leaders? And I'm not talking about, like, political and all that stuff. I'm talking just, like, in the community, people to rise up and say, guys, I got you.
So
right?
True. So true.
It's such like a clear path. It's like the perfect storm for real estate agents to go out there and take advantage of the people that need you the most. You're in Austin, Texas, where like a gajillion people are moving here every single day. Smart people. They got good jobs. They can afford big houses. They have to. Thanks to Jennifer, we just saw all those stats, right? And they're like, I don't know who's going to help me. It's got to be you. I'm preaching. I get like this. I get fired up because this is your database. All right, so 100 people. You guys ready for step-by-step instructions?
Yes.
Thank you. Bring it.
Let's go.
Okay, it's really complicated. It's really complicated. I'm going to give you 3 steps, and we're going to talk about a couple other things. 3 steps. Build your database. That's 1. What does a database look like? It's a name and it's a phone number. Those 2 are absolute musts. If you do not have their name and their phone number, they do not count. How else are you going to get a hold of them? Don't
Email.
get me started on social media. It's not real. Okay.
Email.
It's not real. Okay. You get there, and then their email address. The email address is the least important of the bunch. The next thing I'm going to tell you about is their mailing address. I'm going to tell you why that's important. I got a couple of good stories about this actually, because you're going to start writing thank you notes. They're not long, elaborate calligraphy, like all that stuff. They're just thank you for being your amazing self and being in my life. It's just something simple like that. Because there's a little black box in front of everybody's house. It's called a mailbox. And right now, the only thing you get in your mailbox are your property tax bills, coupons, and people that want to buy your stuff.
That's right.
Right? That's it. Nobody gets these anymore. Right? Imagine somebody going out there. I know this is silly, bear with me on this, but you go out there, somebody goes out to the mailbox. They just had a conversation with you a couple days ago. And then they're like, oh, you know what? I get these from my title person, right? I get like these tiny little Starbucks coupon, credit card, gift certificates from them. But I'm like, man, this is my favorite thing ever. And she's got some corny little thing that's there. I freaking love it. But imagine you go out there, it makes me feel significant, right? And when you make people feel significant regularly, they'll run through walls for you. Ask anybody who makes an offer on my listing. I pummel them if they don't put my title company in there. Right? Because they do these kind of things for me. Simple things. Get a little thank you note. See, that's why I got the van, so I could put it on my card.
It's right in front of my office. I see it
Right?
every day.
Yes, I will wash it. I promise.
Oh, I was going to say that, but I forgot.
Yeah. No, and guys, and you just write something simple right here. Thank you for being you. You're amazing. You're significant. And people get these kind of notes in the mail. And we're gonna go through the specifics of this. Like it changes their world. I've walked into listing appointments, and I've seen my card on the side of the refrigerator. Do you think I had to give a presentation? No, I was like, sign here, press hard, we'll call you later. Right? That's how easy that stuff is. That's what it's about, being in relationships. They trust you already. You've made them feel amazing. Who here would like to feel amazing every day or every once in a while? Right? Significant, heard, all those great things. We used to send these thank you notes, or just notes after we would sell a listing or a buyer. We don't do it anymore because it's really time intensive. Which is a terrible excuse. We used to actually bring somebody in, probably some of y'all on here, to help us handwrite these things. But it would say, hey, we just sold this house. I'm sorry about all the cars and the signs and all the stuff and the open house signs every weekend. We think you're really going to like this person as much as we liked working for them. Okay. We'd send these notes out. We sent them into East Austin a bunch because we were doing a bunch of deals over there. This guy calls me, Richard Weiss. He's an architect. He said, Clay, do you have any freaking notes I get in the mail? No, I don't. Sorry. He's like, you're the only one that hand wrote it. And I know because I looked. I wanted to make sure it wasn't a handwriting machine, right? He looked at it. He's like, I got half a block over here in the East Austin. It's got 7 houses on it. There's a goat lives on a shed. So there's really 8 if you count the goat's house. All right. And it's like, I want $1.5 million for it. This is like 5 years ago. This is a lot of money over there at the time. He's won $1.5 million for it. It's over a garden in Navasota. There's a different cross street. I forget. Anyways, I was like, all right, let me make a call. I made one call, sold. Right. We didn't mess around. We didn't do that stuff. And then that turned into selling those 7 houses. That one thank you note, one of these ding dong little things, was over $100,000 in commission, right? Wow. In like a 15-month span. Wow. That was sweet.
Cool.
I have stories like that, like for days about things like this, but I'll just tell you that one. That one even got me on the news. That's how cool that was. All right, next. Oh my God. You have to call them. Stop it. You have to call them. What are you going to say? You're going to smile. No, here's what you're going to say. And this is a great script. I'm going to dissect a little bit. I know agents are super creative and they love like changing things and personalizing things. I encourage you not to do it. This is time tested. I've done it for years and years and years and years, and you haven't. Trust me on this. Okay. I'm going to go through this. This is what you're going to say. This is especially great if you've been ignoring your database, you're new in the business, or you've been in the business for a long time and you just haven't you haven't done the right phone calls. Okay. That's pretty much everybody. Hey, how are you doing? Get conversational with them. Okay. As you know, I recently got my real estate license, or as you know, I've been licensed for 30 years, but I've ignored you the whole time. One or the other, right? I recently got my real estate license, and I'm committed to providing the highest quality experience for my new clients, or my old clients, or my existing clients, or my repeat offender clients. I'm committed to providing the highest quality experience for my clients. Do you have any advice? Okay, now here's the big trick. Something that I struggle with. You have to shut up and listen. You have to give them space to talk. You've just validated, you've just made a proclamation of how awesome you are. And you plan to add value. Now it's like your turn to shine. It's to listen so that that person can be heard. Okay? That's amazing. Thank you so much. Oh, you just complimented them. By the way, when I call, it won't always be about business. You know why that's important? Because when you call, now they have to decide if someone's either dead or you're asking for business, right? They have to answer the phone. And you can't talk about business every time, just so you know. And I just wanted you to know that, cool? And since we are talking, do you happen to know of anyone I can help buy, sell, or invest in real estate? Ask for business. Thank you for thinking about that. Another compliment, holy moly. Talk with you soon, all right? Then you're gonna follow that up with like a text message. Oh, that's the next slide. So is that all good there? So you're being conversational, you're making a proclamation, you're telling them you're getting back into the relational business, or you're getting into the relationship business. You're going to add value because you plan to bring the highest quality experience to any of the clients, whatever your clients are, all right? Do you have any advice? You're validating their significance, and then you're listening to them. Most people aren't being heard anymore, right? I know I don't get heard at home. I got 2 kids, a dog, and a wife. They're too busy to listen to me. So thank God you guys have to listen. That's amazing. Thank you. More compliments, right? When you say something like this and you practice it and you internalize it, you learn how to talk with the downtones, you're going to feel like such a boss when you say this, because you're not directly asking for business. You're not jumping right into it. Now, by the way, because of principle number 1, when you say this, you're going to throw up on somebody for the first time, second time, third time, 10th time. It happens. I do it sometimes too, right? It's okay. They want you to be successful. And when they hear you eventually get this out, they're going to know you're coming from the right place. And we want to refer business to other people that are coming from the right place. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Great.
Yes.
All right. Am I getting intense? I'm trying not to.
No, Clay, I heard you reference downswing, and what KW class did you learn about that in?
Bold is amazing.
There
We
you
actually
go.
practice the downtones in our script practice.
Uh-huh.
I practice it on my kids. That's a joke.
Does it work on the kids?
Yeah. Clean your room. Clean your room. Clean your room. Clean your room. And if you scream it, there's no downtone. It's pretty steady. Yeah.
Good. I wanted to know, I just sent you over an email that has a couple of off-market transactions. The McCall transaction I did, the Indian Trail I know about.
There's somebody, hey, we got somebody that's doing an off-market
The
deal. You're
lots are a little
talking
bit
out
bigger,
loud.
but it kind of, if you look at a,
Can't find him. Who is it?
I got it.
All right.
Found him.
I
I
hope
need
that
to
deal
get to
goes
know that
good.
guy. All right, here's the send an appreciation note. We just talked about this. These notes, like these little things, when you follow up with your people and your database with little handwritten notes of appreciation. Again, they don't have to be fancy. Thank you for your time. Acknowledge whatever they said, need, or doing. Thank you for being them and blessing them with your time. I suggest you don't put Clay in there, just so you know. But that's like I'm telling you, I've walked in and I've seen them taped to the refrigerators, right? People will have them out when they know I'm coming over. It feels good for me. It feels good for them. I would love to get more notes in my mailbox because I'm tired of the stuff that I get already. Very rarely is it a check. So let's talk about your database. I know that like this freaks people out coming up with 100 people. I guarantee you on your phone, you've probably got 20 or 30. And here's the deal. If you cannot come up with 100, this exercise will take you like 2 hours at most. The next place you go is LinkedIn. Then the next place you go is Facebook. Now, you may not have 100 people in your phone, but you've got like 3,000 people in your Facebook. You're going to have to go through those, and you're going to have to pick the remaining people that you know or that you want to know. And you're going to have to ask them for their phone number. Guys, I hate to break this to you, but you're in sales. You're going to have to get comfortable asking those kind of questions. How do I get a hold of you if I have something really important I need to tell you? And you're going to build this database. A lot of you will get to 100 pretty easily because you're going to start thinking about it. Okay. And then in the very beginning, for the first 12 months of your illustrious career here, guys, that you're making $148,500 because you're going to do this starting today. Okay. You're going to build this database and then you're going to call everybody once a month. And if you're really adventurous and you're really an overachiever, you're going to call them every 3 weeks. And you're going to do this over and over and over 12 times, or whatever 52 divided by 3 is, 14 times a year. Okay. And you're going to call them and then you're going to send them a note. You don't have to do personalized notes. You can go to like a paper store and buy regular old notes. Just do that. Don't do the ego tax. It's expensive. It's ridiculous. Okay. You can, and you're going to send them a note and it's going to like compound. It will accelerate your business and how you feel about life more than anything else that you can do in this business.
Hey, Clay, earlier you mentioned that you kind of, every time you call, it's not about business. Do you have a ratio that you work with, or how does that show up in your world?
There was a guy, okay, I'll just answer your question, telling you a story. They're just kind of like every other. You'll remember because you keep your text messages and you keep your phone records and your CRM and all that stuff. If they've got something really important to talk about, then you want to talk about them. Right? So every other would be my suggestion while you're getting started. And then you'll start to get into a rhythm. Everybody's different. So you'll get into a rhythm. A lot of people won't answer the phone call, ping them with a text anyways, after you've been doing this for many years. In the beginning, you have got to talk to people. Your people miss you, okay? If you're in this business and you're not paying attention to your database, they miss you. 54% of people during the pandemic, people that know me, were thinking about hiring a different real estate agent because I was out of touch with them. 54% of them, over half of your database is about to abandon you because you're not talking to them. Guys, this is the cheapest, best, most fulfilling way to make money, a lot of money in real estate. In an industry where 80 or 85% of you, not you, you guys are special, of everybody else flunks out. And there's no reason to. You get to talk, you talk to your friends anyways, just be intentional about what you're talking about. I literally built there were some lean years too, don't get me wrong, but I was making $400,000 or $500,000 15 years ago, just talking to people I knew. I didn't like doing open houses then. I still don't like them doing them now, but we did them because I wanted to add people. That's how I got started. It was before email existed. That's how old I am. Thank you, Botox. Right? Like you have to do open houses. If you don't know anybody, that's the best place to meet people. I'm just kidding about the Botox, maybe. Right? So that's like, you could be a small database. You don't need to go spend $5,000 a month on Zillow or Ylopo or, all these other things in trying to convert people, because you're trying to outspend and out convert and out hustle guys like me that have teams and people to do those kind of things for a living. You've got to if you want to build your database, you want to build up a big business and you want to do one that you feel really good about. It's really profitable. Focus on your people. Take the 3 hours it's going to take you to build your 100 and get after it. Did I say it's really profitable yet?
I'd have heard that.
Yeah. It's amazing. I look at life was so good back then, right? Because you get to work with people that you want to work with. You get to help them find the things that they want to find. You get to be their person. You get to talk about real things, right? You're not trying to fake it, just trying to get to know somebody in 30 seconds or less. Does all that make sense?
Yep.
So the good news is, that's just a reminder. And I talked a little bit about this earlier. It's just you're getting into adding value and making people feel significant. When you consistently make somebody feel significant, make them feel important, make them feel heard, make them feel safe. I feel like I'm talking to my shrink right now. Like when you do that and you do it consistently, they will run through walls for you. There was a time in my life where I could trace like 56% of my business to 3 people. And I'm not talking about the year I made 17 grand. I'm talking about the year when I was making a couple $100 grand, right? You just dive in and you focus on those people and you do stuff with them. Is that helpful? Was that weird?
Wonderful.
Wonderful, Clay.
I mean, I know y'all have to say that, but like, was that, I mean, was there good information there? So what's going to happen is you're going through you're calling your people and you're having these conversations with them. They're going to kind of indicate if they're people you can talk to every 2 or 3 weeks, or if it's a monthly thing, or if it's every 2 months, right? That's the A plus, the A and the B. So it's up to you to keep them in that A plus to B range. If they fall into C, which is like they're not very responsive, and they're kind of jerks on the phone or whatever, those are your C's. It's your job to either move them up to A's, B's, or A pluses, or just get rid of them.
Mm-hmm.
There's 8.5 billion people out there. Most of them are moving to Austin right now. You're going to have plenty of people to talk to if you're intentional about it.
Love it. Yay, Clay.
Hey,
I hope that helps. I hope it's helpful.
I think one of the most important things you said was the very first thing. People want you to succeed.
Yes.
I don't think you could say that enough. That is, and that goes across everything we do. And so if you believe that, then you lose some of that fear, because you
Yeah,
really,
and it's okay to have fear. You just don't be afraid of your fear. Use it to your advantage. You can even call people like Matt Prosco. God, the guy's like this extraordinary person. I used to call him when I was like in my 20s. He'd be like, "Hey Clay, I know that you're calling me about business because your voice changes, right? Instead of just calling to talk about Longhorn football or whatever, but your voice changes." I was like, "Dude, thank you." He's like, "Work on that." People want you to be successful. "Hey Matt, this is Clay. Just calling to see if you know anybody I can help buy or sell invested real estate," right? You get into like robot voice. You just practice. That's me throwing up on somebody. He wants me to be successful, so he's helping me out. I got all kinds of stories like this.
Love it. Who's got questions for Clay? Clay is amazing.
Any ahas? I think my biggest aha was how simple it truly is. It's a people building relationship business and working your database. And you've had such success, Clay. I mean, it's just incredible.
Yeah, it's been fun. And you know what? When I got really intentional about this is when I came to Keller Williams. Because you guys have all these models and strategies that we can jump into. This is my favorite one because it's the least cost effective, takes the least amount of time. And you can build up like crazy.
Any questions for Clay, y'all? Any ahas?
I really loved the grading your people the A plus to the C, and if they keep being a C, if you can't convert them to higher, then they're not not worth your time, but less on your time list.
Yeah. Well, you're just qualifying people, right? And then that you always know the health of your database. You got to know, you always need to know the health of your database. Yeah. Those A pluses and those A's and even those B's will refer you a lot of business. When you get success going and you get to, you'll send them newsletters showing them your success, like it just snowballs. It turns into this crazy business. And you get to start hiring assistants and buyer agents and all kinds of stuff.
Like, what if everyone had the goal, 5 days a week, I'm going to add one person to my database and just be purposeful about that, right? What a difference it would make for everybody, as long as you're staying in touch with that database 36 times a year.
Absolutely. Anything else? You guys are quiet. Chat box is going off.
Hey, I'll make a quick comment. This is Sood. Hey Clay, how's it going?
Hey.
I'll make this comment because I met Clay when I first got into the business when I was part-time. And Clay, you gave that same exact advice, that consistency and time is the number one thing that's going to drive you to success. And in just a short period of time of being consistent, I'm seeing results that I didn't think were possible. So Clay, you made an impact on me, one of the first classes I took, and it's really just a time game. And I think a lot of us want success tonight, tomorrow, and don't want to put the time in. But Clay, how many years you've been doing this? It's consistency, and your business grows year after year. So one of my takeaways from you, Clay, is just head down, and time will tell. The real successful agents make it through the ups and downs. So thanks, Clay, for being who you are.
Yeah, thank you. Thanks for that endorsement. It's nice to hear from you again. I'm glad things are going really well for you.
Anyone else?
Hey, I'm around. If you ever want to come talk to us, you're more than welcome to barge in on the team while we're doing our thing. If you want to ask me any questions, if you want more scripts, you got questions about your A+As, Bs and Cs, anything like that, I've got tons of that. It's a treasure trove of information in my office. Just come on by.
Well, Clay, this was incredible. Thank you so much for pouring into us today. And this is amazing information. I have a whole page of notes here, and we appreciate you.
Yeah, my pleasure. Thanks for having me.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Woohoo.
Thanks
Thank
so
you.
much.
That was awesome.
All right, guys. Well, we'll wrap it up. Does anyone have any buyer or seller needs?
You.
All right, Michelle.
I have a